All in favor? Aye. Okay. All right, so we have the agenda that we need to amend. I'll do that first, right? So we're going to add FG infrastructure purchase to the agenda. Is there a motion that we approve the agenda with that addition?
So moved.
All right, that was Mr. Wilson, second by Ms. Carter. All in favor? Aye. All right. That was unanimous. Now we have the first item, our financial update.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
This is financial update for the month of November 2025. Start out with the my cover sheet, which has the operating cash, operating revenue, and operating expense on it. Operating cash shows that you have with the three accounts you have. The beginning budget is about 7,341,589. Your ending balance is 7,337,212. You had deposits of about $28,845, and you had withdrawals and debits of $33,221. Operating revenue budgeted at $8,690,500. Your year-to-date actual of revenue coming in was $2,842,410. Your operating expense was budgeted at $4,229,050. Your year-to-date actual was $361,487. You have an encumbrance of $173,796. And then your ending balance is $3,693,766. If y'all have your packets, I've included the statements from the three accounts and trusts. I've also included from last time you want to see your ACH settlements. So I've included that what came from Truist. Also in this packet, I also included what came from our system that shows the ACH going out. So going through the first statement, we have this is with the first statement we have your beginning balance of $5,141,686, and then you have an ending balance of $5,126,534. Any questions on that one?
So the ACH settlement information really doesn't give us anything. It's just showing us the numbers.
That's what comes from Truist, but if you go to, and I probably should have put it with it. It came with our system encode.
Mhm.
Probably should have table of contents with this. If you can look through in the back of your packet, you'll see a report called AP Payment Register.
Okay.
That shows the ACH settlement that gives you the vendor as well as how much and the date it went out.
Okay.
And I have two of them in there because it did about the time that we did payments for the URA and what week it was done on. So if you go to the next one, you'll see also, like the first one was with
Oasis.
Oasis Consulting. I can't hardly see, it's kind of light. And then the next one is with also Oasis as well as TSW. Those were your ACH settlements. Any more questions on that one?
Not at the moment. You can continue.
Okay. The next statement, you got a beginning balance of six.
I'm sorry. I am looking for the clear check. I thought I saw it, but it's not right after it, so. The check number 115, let's see.
You're talking about check number
Yeah,
1115.
yeah, well,
They showing you that because that is a reversal, automatic reversal. You see that at the bottom? Debit reversal.
okay.
That's the ACH block and positive pay. All that's working. They just have to show it. So you see what somebody tried, and you see that automatically takes it.
Is this the new?
Yeah, it is.
And they're trying on the new account?
Mhm. But we have the systems in place now. That's definitely blocking them.
So this was from last,
Mom,
this is from last month after we talked. I mean, not after, but before we talked, this reversal.
mm-hmm.
Okay, because I thought they had shored that up, security wise.
Yeah, that's the security that's being showed here.
This is the security
Yeah.
where they send it back. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Do you know if they are pursuing these bad actors?
They are.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because if once it gets in here, what they say it goes to the FBI.
Okay.
The next one, they have the beginning balance of 691,988. You got the ending balance of 692,886. Really no activity going on with this one here. The next one, you have a beginning balance of 1,507,913. And then you have a ending balance of 1,507,138. This also, you see that with the first check, which is 2555 for that amount that you see, it's also being blocked. You see at the bottom. But we do actually have a check that did clear because that is a valid check. That's for Brightview. And I have the check behind that one. The check printed out for that for you to view. Any questions on that one? I've also included in this packet, you'll see the department payment report. This basically shows what you see on the statements that's coming out, your ACH as well as the checks that came out. The one for 21,000. That one there is partnership for Southern, but that happened back in October, but just showing up in our system. And like I said, also included in the packet, you'll see that the AP payment registry, which shows your the ACH e-payments, the ACH settlement. I've also included the two statements in your Georgia Fund 1. The first one, the 17,778,597. It had reinvestments of 58,510, which give you a new balance of 17,837,107. The next statement is 30,434,067. You had reinvestments of 100,160. Give you a new balance of 30,534,228. In the last part of the packet, I included our revenue and expense report from our system that gives you the basically the operating revenue and operating expense. And that is the financial report.
I just had a question just for clarity. The fee for the Georgia Fund 1 and for the other account, the distribution fee, it seemed to be different. Like, is that based on the amount that's in the account, or what is it based on? But So-
Oh, you talking
okay.
about Georgia Fund 1?
yeah,
Yeah, it's based on the amount that's in the account.
okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Mhm.
All right, next item on the agenda is the Stevens Lake. Well, both from our economic development. We have our Stevens Lake and our Forest Park URA strategy plan.
Yes.
Strategic plan.
Yep. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Let me give a quick update on where we are with all things related to the Stevens Lake Dam, as well as the additional soil testing. So Oasis, we'll probably have them come back for our January meeting. They have done the initial testing. They don't have the current full report back on the dam as of right now, but they should have it hopefully by the end of the month, which means we'll have them come back in January. They are going out to, if you will be reminded that we talked about the site of the old fire station out at Gillum is the only parcel that's out there that we own that's not part of the Brownsfield. So they are going out next week to do the soil testing. So hopefully we will have all of that updated and back to us by the end of the month, or at least by the beginning of the year, so that they can come back and present a full update and plan to you at your January meeting. Are there any questions about Stevens Lake or about the soil testing?
So I'll say I know that some of the soil looks pretty good. So we might be in good
I know,
shape.
we might be in good shape. We might be in good shape. With that as well, just to give you a quick update. So we do have an environmental insurance policy. So we have a 5-year policy. It expires in June. So right now we are started. Actually, I had the conversation with the broker earlier this morning to at least start the process of vetting a new policy. Hopefully, of course, he giggled when I called him this morning. He was like, y'all are really early. We normally don't talk till 60, 90 days. I was like, I know, but just let's start this process now. So I do have the current policy that we are under. I will email it to you. Fortunately, I cannot print it. It's 75 pages long. And I don't know that you really want to read all 75 pages, but I will make it available to you as we get closer and start the conversation in earnest about renewing our environmental policy. We will be able to have them side by side to have a comparison, but understanding that $305,000. I initially read it and kind of fell out my chair too, but the $305,000 that our environmental policy is over a 5-year period. So it's about 60,000 plus or minus each year for that 5-year policy. So just know that we have started the process of vetting for your new policy.
Yeah, and so some of the questions that are gonna come up for me is, what is it now covering since we
Correct.
only own
Yeah,
this
and that
small
was part of the
piece?
conversation that I had with the broker this morning, and was very thankful that he was able to very quickly provide us our current policy. So as we start to inch ever closer to June of 2026, that we can do a line-by-line comparison of the new policy of what we actually need going forward.
Awesome.
Any other questions about Stevens Lake or soil testing? Nope. So hearing none, I'm going to move on to a quick, in your packet, you have the updated Forest Park URA strategic plan. This is the plan that TSW has completed for us. There were some minor tweaks to the plan from what they presented to us last month. I believe we had some names that needed to be updated. There were a couple of minor changes. So this is the most current and up-to-date strategic plan that we have from TSW. Attorney Matricardi, do we need to do anything at this time with the plan? I know that they had approved it, but where do we need to? Okay.
Adopted by the city council.
Correct.
And so upcoming January, probably like the second.
Mhm.
I will work with the interim city manager.
Awesome.
Perfect. Any questions about the strategic plan?
Excited.
I know, I'm so excited. Very excited. And I do believe that we have an old business item. Attorney Matricardi, do you want to talk about that, and then we'll go to new business?
Item, they talked earlier, well, last year we entered into an agreement. If you recall, last year we entered in an agreement to sell 153 acres. We had divided that into two different transactions. The first was around 90 acres, a little over that. And then we gave the entity an option to purchase the remaining at a different date. And so they have exercised their option to purchase, and closing is set for this coming Tuesday. We may close on Monday, depending if we get all of our documentation in order. So I'm just looking for a motion to authorize the transfer, as well as authorize the chair to execute any and all documents. And if you could read the motion, because I put
Okay.
put everything we need in there for the title company.
All right. Do you all have any questions?
Where's this property again?
Okay, so Project Splash.
Oh.
It's all of Project.
Yes.
So Project Splash is.
So it's the northwestern part of Fort Gillum. So it was like a big chunk, 150 acres, and then this is the remaining 53 acres.
So this is just completing the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is there a motion to approve FG Infrastructure and Affiliates exercising its option to purchase the remaining 53 acres in Fort Gillum, and to authorize me, the chair, to execute any and all necessary documents to effectuate the closing? So moved by Mr. Wilson. Second by Ms. Carter. Any further questions or discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Here we go. All right, so we have a new business item. We have the Fort Gillum Property Management Update.
All right. So we have with us a couple of representatives from TI Asset Management. If you will be reminded, TI Asset is our new property management company for the park at Fort Gillum. There are a couple of things I'm going to let them kind of give us some updates on where they are with some things. A couple of things I want to bring to your attention, especially since I still have our finance director here. I believe the paperwork has been signed to establish our new bank account, the new operating account. So hopefully we should see that soon. Do you want to?
Yes, when we went to Renaissance, we've been waiting, but we have, as of now, we've already executed papers to get a new account with Bank of America. They've been itching to kind of get another account with us, so we went on and blessed them. So
Yeah.
right now, they have all the paperwork, so we should be, hearing something, if not tomorrow, or
Awesome.
maybe Monday.
Thank
So,
you.
should be good.
We were trying to get a
Trust
local
me,
representation.
we tried, but we are excited to be able to clear that hurdle. And as you hear, hopefully by early next week, so it's a Christmas miracle. So by early next week, we will have a fully funded,
Functioning.
functioning operating bank account for the park at Fort Gillem, because I know that that has been trust me. They were very, very patient with me. They're like, come on, Miss Rochelle, come on now. So I'm going to turn it over to our part of our boots on the ground team at the park at Fort Gillem.
Awesome.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing? I'm Dominique. I am currently the property manager there at the park at Fort Gillem. I've been there now for about 4 years with the previous management company, and now I am with TI Assets. So if you have any questions, I'm
Awesome.
here, free to answer. Any questions for me?
So the only question that I've gotten so far, I did have one resident reach out to me about, and I told her that it's probably because we haven't established a bank yet, but she was concerned about being able to pay with checks, and not having the ability to pay with checks. So I just wanted to see if that's something that is a process or what.
Well, the Appfolio, the portal
Mhm.
that allows the tenants to pay online, they are able to do electronic check
Okay.
and pay with a credit or debit card as well as auto pay.
Mhm.
They also have the option to pay at a local Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and at that point, I'm not sure if they would accept checks, but
Okay, so the
those-
e-check, is there a cost? Is there a fee associated with that or not?
yes, there is a
Okay.
fee associated with using the portal altogether. The credit or debit, it's about $9.99, and the electronic check is $2.50.
Okay, so we're probably gonna have to have some continued conversations about that
Mhm.
because that's one of the big things they were
The biggest
saying.
concern.
Yeah, they don't want to pay to have to pay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry.
So that should be resolved when the new bank account is in place, and then we get a check scanner in the office.
Got you.
Currently, right now, they can still pay with check right now. There's just no way for Dominique to deposit the money anywhere.
Got you.
So I've
Okay.
got to make a trip down here, gather up all the checks at one time, bring them to our corporate office,
Got you.
in order to get them deposited for you
Okay.
guys.
Yeah, that's on us. Sorry, we were trying to support our local banks.
But while we're
but-
on that subject of the bank accounts, are you guys also setting up a non-interest bearing savings account with the operating account?
We will. I mean, we'll discuss it. I
So
mean,
that has to be done for any new deposits that we have and also the deposits from the prior management company
okay.
that need to be transferred over.
Okay.
And it has to be a non-interest bearing savings account in order to hold those deposits.
Okay, so Miss Dennis, we'll make sure we get all that information. We'll make sure we get that done.
Okay.
Yeah, we were to hold up on that. What was the other thing? I'm trying to remember what the other question she had. I think the other question was having to do with seniors being able to use the portal, but I told her that there's been one-on-one conversations to help people. So I think she was just speaking just in general, and not understanding that we are working with one-on-one to make sure everyone can be.
Yeah, so whenever they feel hesitant or they're not sure on how to access the portal, any kind of guidance that they need, some of them have my personal phone number. They call me. I am there for them, to help guide them through it. And, I sometimes sit at the office and I would activate the portal for them, create the emails for them, because I know, they're not really tech savvy, so I get
Awesome.
it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think we're moving in the right direction. I know that they are working on trying to the company as a whole is working on trying to see what's going on with the buildings and all of that. So we'll look to get that information
So
later
we
on.
have completed those initial walks.
Okay.
Last week.
Mhm.
It is in the process with the engineering firm now. We should have that back for, I would hope, next week.
Okay.
And we'll have some preliminary reports based on that.
Awesome.
I walked 50% of the buildings, when we did those walks.
And what's your name?
Joe Glass.
Okay.
During that, there was, the interiors weren't as bad as I initially would have thought.
Mhm.
But there are some capital improvements like roofs, that are going to be for the initial walks.
Okay. Okay.
Gutters.
So is there any like completely vacant buildings that you have identified right now?
So there are, and then like, based on the nature of the property, there are only, some only have four, and the, I guess the units at the back are single family.
Mhm.
Those are vacant. But so we would be able to either address, a building at a time. And if we have to relocate residents, we have that option if needed, but currently we're able to service all the residents who live there with everything they need.
Awesome. Thank you.
Easy, you did the walkthrough, did you see anything that, that would concern you about any of the units being, um, having to be condemned? I mean,
No.
okay.
Yeah,
They're not that
yeah,
bad.
and I've been doing this for over 26 years. The 50% that I walked, none of them would even remotely come close.
Okay, great. Okay.
You have any questions? You answered? Okay, awesome. Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. That's good news. That's good news. Yeah. Yeah. So the next item on the agenda is the 2026 URA meeting calendar.
In your packet, it's that time again. So at the very last page of your packet is the proposed 2026 meeting calendar. Just as a reminder, our meeting, the Urban Redevelopment Agency meets at 5:30 p.m. here in council chambers on the second Thursday of every month. And so the dates that are proposed before you would be for the 2026 calendar, and we would need a motion to adopt and approve.
And Director Dennis, the November and December dates are maybe slightly altered a little bit.
November and December altered?
I don't think so.
No, it's, yeah, because it's the second.
But we always leave that contingency for the holidays for those months.
Mhm.
Oh, we're gonna make these people work. No.
It's like we feed you, come on.
Yeah. So no, are you all good with the second Thursday, continuing on with the second Thursday of every month? It works out pretty good. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and just entertain a motion to approve the URA 2026 calendar. All right, Mr. Wilson. Second by Ms. Carter. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. So one of the things I will say, Ms. Dennis, about the calendar is I do want us to engage in some training and maybe even a retreat for us.
Mhm.
Even if it's like a staycation type thing,
Okay.
we can go to Atlanta and
Sorry.
stay in a hotel downtown and have a meeting.
Okay.
You know,
We
something
can
to
definitely
kind of bring us together.
start to
and-
look at, because actually it's on my desk right now, is a series of trainings, kind of the training calendar from GMA as well as Carl Vinson Institute. So let me take a look at the training offerings that I think would be most applicable for the URA, and we can definitely start to build that into our calendar.
Awesome. And then we do want to follow up on our attire, what did he call it?
The- Your
Our
swag, your
uniform.
polo, your
we wanna-
polos.
Yeah,
Yep.
we need to get our, the DDA is like, I can see the DDA, I'm like, they representing themselves. Like, wait a minute,
We will put that back at.
more funnier than them.
Well, it's kind of an understatement, but anyway, we will put that back to the top of the list. And by the January meeting, we will have some potential options for you for your,
Nice. You
polo
are right,
shirts.
blazer,
okay, so.
Want to do it up.
And a polo and a blazer. Okay,
2026,
she's just
it's a new
adding
year.
stuff. All right, polo
We got
and
some big
blazer.
stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we want, aren't you in agreement with that, Miss Patrick, Miss Carter? I know, Patrick.
Right?
I know, Miss Melody, I think that's. Yeah, all right, so thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I don't think we have an executive session, do we?
No, but I do have to give you my economic development update. I promise I'm gonna make this quick. Y'all know we got everything under the sun going on. So you do have the full presentation packet in front of you. I'm not gonna read through everything because it is a lot, but I will point out some highlights. Next slide. For you. So a couple of things with Main Street. We do have, and go to the next slide. We do have our winter wreath showcase. So if you came down Forest Parkway, you should have noticed all of the pallets with the Christmas wreaths out in front of City Hall. We are doing a friendly but festive competition, encouraging our city staff as well as our community to, and the URA board, if you would like to sign up and decorate a Christmas wreath or a holiday wreath, you are welcome to do so. But the competition, or actually the actual judging, would be on next Thursday, December the 18th. On tomorrow, and I strongly encourage you to, if your schedule will allow, to please join us. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we'll be in the gym for the very first Best of Forest Park Business Awards. We are super excited. We've worked really hard to pull this together. Our business community is beyond just tickled. We actually talked to a business owner yesterday, and he truly was just tickled to death. And he was like, I'm bringing my whole family and my kids. So it's really an opportunity just to, in a small way, to celebrate our local business community, to recognize some of our businesses, and you get to have a lovely breakfast compliments of Chick-fil-A. Eric Stallings, who is the owner-operator of the Forest Park Dwarf House and is also the vice chair for the DDA, is our featured speaker. So please join us tomorrow morning if you are free. Next slide. We have, let's see, a couple of economic development updates that I want to make you aware of. So as I've shared with you before, City of Forest Park has been accepted into the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. We were officially recognized at the GIC Fall Retreat in Savannah and are actively starting our conversations with all things GIC. And our housing committee will have their initial retreat, I believe, in February. So more to come. And there is also a press release that went out, I believe yesterday or maybe day before yesterday. So you'll probably see it in the local media coming soon. Some department updates. We do have, we are in the final interview. Well, actually, we've had the final interview for our staff assistant role within our department. Conditional offer has been extended. So hopefully by your next board meeting in January, we will have the third leg of our stool in place, and we'll be able to see that person fully immersed in all things economic development for the city. The property signs that we have established, Public Works actually picked them up today, this morning, so you should see. I have to tell y'all a funny. So I was planning that I was just gonna I was like, oh, I know how to put the signs together. I can do that. And I'm just gonna just bam them in the ground. I got a mallet. I know how to do that. And Public Works was like, no, 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 no. You can't just go start because I was like, why can't I do that? So anyway, so we had to pause. And they were like, we need to call before we dig. So yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So anyway, we marked it. They got the clearance from the dig people. They picked up the signs this morning. So hopefully before Christmas, again, another Christmas surprise, you should see those property signs going up in and around the Main Street district. Couple of things with workforce development. As I told you before, we did a comprehensive Forest Park job fair, which we will do again, but we're also looking at doing a trade pathways job fair. And specifically, and Ms. James will be coming to visit with you because want to do this in partnership with our schools, particularly for those students that don't go to college or don't want to go to college. And so we've had an initial conversation with Georgia Power about what a partnership around that and a whole bunch of other stuff could look like, and they are on board. Speaking of Georgia Power, had a great meeting with them and their workforce development team last week. They're doing some, it's called Lightcast, but they're doing some data analysis for us, which is fantastic, and giving us some data points to help us make better informed decisions around how we use and how we do workforce development in our city. There's also a program called LOT. It's the Local Opportunity for Today and Tomorrow. There are elements of it, as I'm learned, at least in the initial conversation with Georgia Power, that probably could fit very well in our community, particularly around that Trade Pathways program that we are looking at. In your packet, there is at the last, what was that, 2 weeks ago, council meeting, Planning and Community Development, did a presentation with Economic Development, Public Work, pretty much everybody, around the City Plaza Blight Initiative and how we galvanize resources to address not just blight, but raising the condition of the exterior look and feel of our commercial corridor. And so I've included the packet for you to read through it at your leisure. I'm not going to go through it today. It's still in its very early concept. We have gone through assessment and data collection. The next phase of this will be looking at what a grant program could look like. And of course, most importantly, how we would fund a grant program of that size and magnitude. Next slide. We also, there are a couple of grant opportunities that I want to talk about. Actually, yesterday was the deadline, but the United Way released a Building a Brighter Future Together grant specifically for the city of Forest Park, for nonprofits here in Forest Park that do work around housing, sustainability around housing, as well as workforce development. So we grabbed it and very quickly repackaged and pushed it out citywide. I do know that Clayton State alone had 7 applicants that they were pushing through. So I'm excited, and I know that they will announce the award winners of that grant. I believe it's $10,000 grant on the 29th of December. So excited, but very excited that it's specific to the local Forest Park community. Couple of other grants that we are looking at, what are they called? The Development Authority of Clayton County also has a grant. It's called the Clayton Future Makers Momentum 500 grant. That's a mouthful. But they also have some grant funding available. It is countywide, but obviously our Forest Park business community could be at the front of that list. And we have definitely pushed that out to our business community. American Express has a Shop Small Grants program that we also are pushing. And then it is time for citywide conversation around the community development block grants and what that looks like for our community. So just know that all of those things are coming. Next slide. Couple of highlights of some pending projects. The MARTA O&M facility on Old Dixie, their variance was approved. We're currently waiting on submission of their building permits and plans. Cherry Street, the 6 single-family homes here right across from the park. They're currently I think he said probably in the next 45, 60 days, they will be done with construction. If you haven't driven down Cherry Street, I encourage you to do so. They're absolutely beautiful. But right now, they are getting their plats recorded to make their parcel IDs as well as their addresses. Bank of America, our new bank partners, they are getting ready to start a full exterior rebrand of the building, which is great. So it will change the look and feel of that side of Main Street. I know they're redoing landscaping and painting and signage, et cetera, et cetera. So excited to have some upkeep and some modernization going on that side. And I think that's kind of it for right now. I'm gonna keep going. A couple of business retention expansion things that I want to bring to your attention. So particularly 80 acres. So 80 acres is a vertical hydroponic farming company. I'm not doing it justice. So they're moving into where the old Calera was out at Gillum. Calera closed, what, 2.5 years? They've been closed for quite a while. They're occupying that space, but they do vertical farming. And with the stuff that they farm, they make salad dressings and stuff. They have gotten their sign permit. We have had at least initial conversation with their PR team around a rollout. So yeah, they just got their sign permit this week. I would think probably in the January, February timeframe, we should be looking at doing a grand opening and a ribbon cutting for them. Smoothie King, we're still working with them on scouting some locations. The initial location that they had identified on Jonesboro Road did not meet the requirements of their franchise agreement. So we have kind of gone back to the table and trying to find other locations because they specifically need to be on Jonesboro Road. I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly. Scoria, Miss James, this is the artist, the metal artist. We had a great conversation with her and her partner last week. She does metal work. Her stuff is absolutely beautiful. What she is looking for is to establish an arts gallery, a metal art gallery here in Forest Park. That also can serve as her gallery, but also as her studio. So we've had some early conversations with planning and community development to determine the best place where she can go based on what she's doing, and are now starting to have the conversation in earnest of narrowing in some options of a permanent home for her. The Witty Seafood, looking at waiting on a new date. Unfortunately, the business was not ready and had to reschedule, but this will be sometime after the beginning of the year, as well as Shoe Trend. They have opened on Jonesboro Road. I believe they're in the same shopping plaza with the, thank you, America's Food Basket. And then Nail Ya House, which is on College Street, directly across from Forest Park Middle. They sell Greek paraphernalia. We had a date scheduled. They've had to reschedule their date. So we've got a couple of, we know right out the gate coming in January, we'll have several new businesses and ribbon cuttings happening. Next slide. Yes, ma'am. Go back to Sherwin-Williams. So we had an initial conversation with Sherwin-Williams. They had identified a parcel on Forest Parkway. This would be a ground up build, and it would be a retail store. So similar, if you're familiar with the Sherwin-Williams back there in Morrow behind the Publix. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, be similar to that. They've gone cold. He's on my list because I've reached out to him actually this week. Me like, are you going? Are you not going? What you doing? That property that they were looking at is not owned by the city, so there's a limit to what I can influence on that. But this would be a true a retail Sherwin-Williams that contractors could go in and buy paint, but you also as an individual could go in and buy paint for your home. Yeah.
I had a quick question before we
Mhm.
get too far. The across the street, that property that Bank of America owns, what are they doing with that? The drive-through down the hill?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
really?
Bank of America no longer
Oh,
owns
I
that.
didn't know
Steve,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
Steve Bernard owns
Okay.
that property.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Uh,
Oh, got Dunkin' Donuts on the other side, Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, you
Oh,
said
yeah,
that's
that's
on the-
Lake City or Morrow?
That's Lake City. That's
Oh,
Lake
just
City.
Lake City, okay.
Oh, the buffet. Yes, that is Lake City. My understanding, and I need to call Chris Lighty again to make sure that this is still what it is that it was supposed to be a gas station. I believe a racetrack, maybe. There is a quick trip that's coming in 54 further down right at the 75 pickup in Morrow, but my understanding that that location was supposed to have been a racetrack. I don't know if it's changed. It's very much looking kind of gas station-y, but that is Lake City. Now, I haven't seen that yet because I come in that way every day to work, and every day I look, I'm
Those
like,
big old round things though.
the
like,
cisterns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
What's it?
assuming cisterns.
Oh, system.
Yeah,
okay.
so I will call
can
my
see my
buddy
pet
over at
today.
Lake City and see if the plans for that have changed. But my understanding was that it was supposed to be a racetrack. Keep going. And let's see, a couple of things for the URA. I think we've actually talked through all of this. The only thing I do want to point out is for the POA board, the URA needs to consider in January an appointment of the new URA/city rep for thank you, Gillum Property Owners Association. And keep going. Oh, one thing, go back, sorry. The GIS system, so, we do know that, there's a known issue with the county of some of the plats not being right or the names not being correct. We have been working through with them, Gardner Mayo is sick of me calling him, working through this. So, we have engaged with, we being the URA, have engaged with Valentino, to do an update to the surveys and the plats. There are a couple of parcels that are, that need to be updated. They have a plan of attack and approach. And I'm hoping early in 2026 that we can be done with our part of it, so then we can turn over to the county and then continue to push them to make the updates. Because there are
So-
parcels when you go on the tax assessor's site that are just way wrong.
Yeah. So, I don't know, did Mr. Freeman contact
Yes,
your office?
he did,
Okay.
and his would be one of them as well.
Okay. Okay.
Correct.
Man, I thought we'd done that. I thought we
I know.
were straight.
It's surprise, 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 because I had that conversation this afternoon. I was like,
Yeah.
that's not right. So, correct. From the last time.
Yes, but the
Yes.
county didn't update it when you recorded the final plat, and then there's been lot combinations and things
Correct.
that have changed
Since
since
then.
the final
Mhm.
plat. So,
Mhm.
that's why we're trying to get it updated now.
Yep. All right. Next slide. You can keep going. I think we've talked through most of the DDA projects that as they relate to you of everything on Main Street and the Development Authority. So I do want to give a quick update on the Florence on Main, that's the 760, 770 Main Street lots. This was the 60-unit apartment complex with a mixed use on the bottom. The developer had applied to receive DCA tax credits. They unfortunately missed it by 2 points. They are planning to, or they are wanting to go back and reapply for DCA tax credits for next year. We're pretty confident that they will get it on their second go around. And the fact that we are now a recognized GIC community gives them some extra points. So at the Development Authority meeting next week, it's one of the things that the DA board needs to discuss and decide how they want to move forward or continue to move forward with this project. And I think that is everything. So there's more there that you can read at your leisure, but I'll be happy to answer any and all questions that you may have.
So, Mr. Wilson wanted us to go back over the grapevine. And I
Yes.
think what we had talked about is bringing it up in January, but do you have a? You
Correct.
spoke
I
to-
don't have anything additional. We had talked about bringing it back up in January. I do know that we have, as I shared before, we have final plans or approved plans. We do have a proposal based on the previous RFP that was released. Just needs to be slightly updated and modified. What I would need from the URA board is the direction and how you want us to move forward. Do you want to move forward with releasing a RFP process, or do you want to identify a contractor that you would like to move forward with to do the work?
We're gonna probably do an RFP, but we'll
Okay.
bring it up in January. I'll
Yeah.
make sure it's on the agenda for January.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to highlight the pending project for Fountain Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I was hoping to try to do, but they got so much going on, it ain't gonna happen, was to do a picture with all of the past members that went through Fountain Elementary. Because the school is going to be closing next week. Well, of course, all the schools are going to be closing next week, but the kids are going to actually be going to where Forest Park Middle School was, which is the old Morrow Center, because they're going to begin demolishing Fountain. And so I had told Mayor about this grand idea I had was to try to gather everybody, as many people as possible that had went through Fountain Elementary, and take a big picture in front of the old building before it gets torn down. But time is just. I can't. Yeah, all right. I don't have time. I don't have time to do it. But that's just so you all know. There's gonna be that's gonna be demolished. The old Fountain Elementary School is gonna be demolished and rebuilt to a very new school, and it's gonna start. It's gonna start this year. Can you believe it? But if y'all haven't seen Forest Park Middle School, please go by there. I mean, take the tour.
It is beautiful.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, well, I thank you. Is there any other comments or questions you all have for Miss Dennis? Great job.
Just wanted to comment that I was driving by the park. It's very beautiful. So I know you guys had something to do with that, but this really looks nice.
I can't, the park, I can't take credit for. We were in the Christmas parade though, and we had a festive and wonderful time in the parade, but I have to give props where props are due, because the Star Park and the decoration of all the holiday stuff is truly Parks and Rec, and more than anybody, Public Works. Yeah, they started, I want to say right before Thanksgiving, with putting out the decorations, and have done an absolutely beautiful job with them.
Yes, we are one Forest Park. We
Yep.
are one Forest Park. What is this?
I need you to sign that for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And no, but you have a special pen.
Oh,
Yep, yeah, just
okay.
don't touch it yet.
Don't touch it. Okay. Don't touch it. All right. Well, I think we're done, right?
Mhm.
Everything's good?